Brain Candy Podcast.
Woo!
Episode 835. Hi.
Hi, Suze. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Good.
Miss you.
I miss you too.
I've been thinking about this. You teased me with this potential of coming to Pittsburgh.
I am
in
coming.
September.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
it's
come.
settled.
I'm going to. I've already made the decision because after on our last episode when we were talking about dance,
Yeah.
I played. So what I want to come out and visit you for is Remy Wolf is this musician that I love. And don't worry, she's not like Cardi B. It's not trap music. Think it's music you'll actually enjoy.
It's
And,
not trap music.
And yeah, last year I missed her show when she was here. And I really, really, really want to go.
Where is
So
she
after
playing?
that episode,
What kind of venue?
it feels it's not going to be crazy big. It's someplace where it would be like GA. I looked it up already. It's like $45 a ticket kind of situation.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know,
All right.
and tickets are available, and I'm getting them. And if you want to come with me, you can.
Of
come.
course.
I would. Okay, good.
What if I
didn't
didn't?
wanna-
That would be so weird.
Well, I don't know. Like, so you like. So I was
I'd
listening.
even go to trap music for that.
Oh my gosh, that's the best, Suze.
Yeah.
Wow, you heard it here, folks. That's true friendship. She's like, I'm going to bring my earplugs, but I'm going to go with you and support you. That's love. See, this is all I'm really asking for from a partner. Just
right.
be like Susie.
We would have a great time.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
I just need to be prepared for it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it can't be like at my bedtime,
Right.
like that night.
No, I think
when
this will
yelled
be
at you.
really fun. I think this will be like a really good time.
Okay, yeah. That'll be
Yeah.
great. I love it. I was even thinking we should go to that Falling Water, Frank Lloyd Wright. I feel
Absolutely,
like you would
I
love
want to go to that. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a trip that's going to be for pleasure.
Oh my gosh, for her pleasure.
Yes, for her pleasure. we're gonna do looking at some architecture.
Yeah.
We're gonna go listen to some very female-centric music.
Yeah.
There's definitely gonna be some cute lesies at this show.
Right. Our
Definitely.
people.
Yeah, yeah. It's so. If you're in the Pittsburgh area and you want to see Remy Wolf, then you should definitely go too. And we could all have a
we'll
dance
see you
party
there.
together. So
Okay.
after our episode, I put on Remy Wolf like Spotify and had a dance party
Nice.
in my living room.
That's really fun.
It was so fun.
Was it cathartic?
It was cathartic and it was like joyful.
It's nice.
It was joy, and I felt like joy in my heart. Like, and I was like, oh my God, we should be doing this way, way, way more. And then I also thought, oh my God, my hips are tight.
What? How can you tell?
Swirl your hips in a circle and see if they get locked up at any point.
Okay.
There's like, I remember when I used to do a lot of like dancing in front of the mirror, I was definitely like,
You were more limber.
I was
Now
loosey-goosey.
you're like the Tin Man. You need a
And
little
now-
zhuzh in there.
Yeah, yeah. When I went to physical therapy, that's what she said. She didn't say you need to be dancing in your living room, but she did say that everything was tight. Like
Yeah.
everything has been like tightened, and I need to like lengthen and loosen and do
Listen,
Pilates and stuff.
I
like
can personally verify that you have been keeping your New Year's resolution of stretching. I've seen you stretch many a time. Even in our hotel room in Detroit, you were stretching up
I
against the
did.
wall and stuff.
that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, I have changed. Well, so I went to physical therapy just yesterday. And which, by the way, it's like impossible to get a physical therapy appointment if anybody knows about, like, it's so hard. And
They're in demand or something.
Yes.
Oh.
And you have to, and with physical therapy, you have to like do it weekly and everything. And so they send me a message, I think it was like while we were recording, that said, there's an available appointment at 7:45 in the morning. This place is 45 minutes away. I took it. I had to be, because what
Bright
else
and
am I going
early.
to do? So I started my day real early, and she like tested me for everything and the flexibility of my ankles. And she was like, yeah, you are very flexible, but zero stability.
Oh my gosh. I feel like that's a terrible combination.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, you're very flexible, but
She's
now
like
there's no
Gumby.
muscles. Yes. It's just, there's no, so I've been, overstretched.
Oh no.
That was the conclusion.
Okay,
that now
maybe
we need to spend
2025
the
could be for
rest.
stability.
It's strength.
Oh, strength. Okay.
I'm already planning. Oh my God, I just got emotional because
Really?
that has some meaning, stretching and
yeah.
strength. So we're gonna be like strong in 2025.
Yeah, you need the combo. See, these are
So-
how these atomic habits work. Because next year you're going to
build.
keep stretching,
Yes,
but you're also going to get stronger. I'm telling you,
absolutely.
I found the secret.
That's really it. We're just building, and I couldn't do both at onse for some reason.
Got to take
It's
it one
all-
at a
you
time.
know, yeah, it's I remember when I was growing up, bodies when you're going through puberty and growing are weird. And my mom would always say, you're growing up and then out and then up and then out and then up and she
Isn't
was
that
kind of
funny?
right.
Yeah.
And so in a way, this is kind of like what I feel like I'm doing for my self-care and mental health. Like we're stretching and then we're strengthening. We're like growing and expanding and then
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's like steps.
steps. Exactly.
No. Yeah.
So
Good
yeah.
for you. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So should we learn some things
Oh wait,
today?
I remembered last episode I said I feel like there was something I was going to tell you.
yeah.
I remembered what it was just quickly, which is
I love when that happens. Isn't that a gift?
Yeah, I was like, no, Sarah needs to hear this story because it's disgusting. We went fishing the other day, and it was in a little bit of a secluded area, and we go, through the greenery, and then we get down to the water, and I get set up in my chair to read, and then the boys get their rods and all this stuff. So we were only sitting there like 30 seconds or a minute when I see this bird approaching, like a kind of a big bird, and it looked weird, but you know how I'm blind as a bat. I don't know what is happening. And so I couldn't make out what I was looking at. But I knew it was a bird and it was pretty low and it's coming. And then right in front of me and Link, it releases
Okay.
a dead pigeon from its talons. And it plops down into the water right in inches from us, splashes everywhere. And there is just this dead, rotting pigeon corpse right in front of us.
Some may say a gift. So I think if you were a bird, you'd be like, well, thank you. Okay.
I thought it was like a threat, but Adam said they probably just lost their grip, like they were distracted by us and then was like, whoops, a daisy.
Or if it was rotting.
No, it wasn't actually. I just added that
because
for color.
sometimes animals, like, they'll pick it up, like, thinking, okay, and then they're like,
no,
nope,
it was fresh.
bad news bears. Okay.
And Adam had to like pick it up because we were afraid this hawk was going to come back and want it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be right in front of it, whatever it needs, because those things are freaking
Absolutely.
scary. So he had to pick this thing up out of the water, and its beak was all agape. It was like
oh my God.
rigor mortis. It sank.
It's funny that you are saying that as you are simultaneously fishing and murdering fish.
Yeah.
It's
There's
like one
something
is
about a dead bird, though.
I know. I totally agree.
Even if it were a chicken and stuff I eat, if it were all feathered and right there plopped in the water in front of me, I'd be grossed out.
That's true.
Ugh.
Fishing, it feels like you're catching it just like you'll eat it, so it's fine.
And pigeons are, I feel that pigeons are like the rats of the sky.
Yeah.
They're just disgusting birds.
Yeah.
But anyway, my whole point of this story is to say I do not know why you like nature.
Oh, well, I mean, and that I got so excited because I'm like, thank you so much for bringing me a nature story. I love it so much. And you gave me an opportunity to tell one of my latest and favorite animal facts that I've learned,
What?
which is an animal fact and a media fact.
Yeah.
So the bald eagle that we all know and love, the image of the bald eagle, it's like the
Oh, yes. I think I heard you
National
learn
bird.
this fact or share
yes,
this in Detroit.
you heard me share this just the other week so now everybody else has to hear. Yeah, we all associate that with like a very distinct call, like this like a very powerful sound.
Yeah.
And in reality, bald eagles sound more like seagulls. And every audio that you've heard of a bald eagle is actually a red-tailed hawk that they have laid over the video of a bald eagle. And they don't
what
make
do seagulls
any...
sound like to you? Like almost a little quack? A gurgly quack?
Yeah. Gut, like throat, like kind of...
So you're telling me
That sounds good. I bet if you didn't watch the video, you just heard that, you'd be like, that's a fucking seagull. Right? Maybe. I don't know.
so like bald eagles have great PR.
Great PR. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. I mean,
I would
please,
kill
they're
for that
bald.
kind
And
of
look at them.
A
Crushing it.
publicist.
They like put it in the name, something that we usually like. That's kind of a silly thing, actually.
Yeah.
All the men are like, I don't want to be bald. Like, give me some hair transplants, blah, blah, blah. Except like Bruce Willis and Mr. Clean and like 2 other guys. And then here we have a bald guy as our national...
He's just owning it. He's fine with it.
Bird.
Yeah, I'm bald. What are you going to do about
Right.
it? But then he
Right.
goes like, then he quacks down the street.
I want to look up what an actual seagull does sound like. We're
I
going to
wish I
have
had
to...
that on my soundboard, but I don't.
Seagull
Well,
sound.
while she looks that up, I'm going to tell you something that the bald eagle might be able to use, and that's Nutrafol, because
Yeah.
you-
Hey, what a great segue.
I don't know if they treat birds, but if you are having the situation of thinning or shedding that you are not happy with, Nutrafol is amazing. It is a dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. And I am one of those people. I just went to the stylist yesterday. As you can see, my roots
nice.
impeccable. And she said, I've been seeing her for 4 years since we moved back. And she said, I've never seen your hair healthier
Wow.
in that entire time. It is so strong. And that makes me feel really good because she has no horse in this race, you know?
Right. And it allows you to keep doing the things that you want to do to your hair, like coloring it. And, you know, when
She
some
said that. She
people
goes,
have to
we
get
didn't
to the
even have
point-
to give you like a more natural.
Right. Because sometimes you get to that point when you're like, I got to.
Yep. We
It's
didn't
dead
even have
now.
to scale
Right.
back on the old bleach. So
Right.
it's awesome. I highly recommend it. And they have all kinds of science and experts who back it up. Get results you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code BRAINCANDY. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code BRAINCANDY.
Yes.
Wait,
okay, let's hear...
Nutrafol.com, promo code BRAINCANDY. I almost forgot the last bit.
Let's hear sound. Let's hear this sweet sounds.
Okay, let's hear it.
Please don't play a commercial. Okay, good.
It does sound like a seagull. Or wait, is that a seagull?
That's a seagull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of barky.
Squeaky, annoying,
Yeah, kind of like a bark.
not majestic.
That's a seagull. So we're clear. And
it.
let's listen to the sound of a red-tailed hawk. That's your
Right.
what they
That sounds
play.
vicious.
That's actually what they
Wow.
play for a bald eagle. Not a bald eagle.
You heard it here first, people.
You heard it
We
here.
are exposing bald
Yeah.
eagles' true.
All the
they should
truths.
just accept who they are, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I don't have more animal facts for you, but I do have a story about a place where many animals live, and that's national parks.
Okay.
And some new dangers.
Yeah, man. Every time I turn around,
It's
like trouble is brewing.
Really. And this is one that a lot of people don't think about, but I think one that we're going to be thinking about. I've been thinking about recently with the rising temperatures in my own house. Okay.
Sarah.
Well,
Right.
it's true.
Yeah, it really is a good reminder when you can't escape it.
Which, by the way, I'm going to just put a pin in this story to
Yeah.
like give you, because you guys are along for this no air conditioner ride with me.
Yeah. Your AC journey.
The contractor is definitely being shady. And the insurance company also knows that they're being shady. And they are in some, like, they have it written in their deal that they can't switch to a new contractor.
Yeah,
This one's
they're
already been
stuck.
assigned to the job. So instead, they're just giving me a cash out for it. And I have to find a new contractor.
I mean, you really got on the case, though. I mean, magnifying glass Sarah.
Oh, yeah. Because, and I'm going to save money. So the end. Sarah wins, but
you got to
it's
get up
still,
pretty
it's like,
early in the morning.
yes, you do, to pull a fast one on your old girl over here, right? And I hate spending money.
She really does.
Hate it. So if you're going to take even a penny from me, I'm going to need to see receipts. And they couldn't show those. And so now I get one big fatty one. But now I have to find my own AC person.
That's
and
okay. I believe in you.
I think I could do that. Somebody nice. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to other hot places.
Okay.
So the story comes from Death Valley. And now let's talk a little bit about Death Valley. Have you been there? We've talked a little bit about Death Valley on the show before.
The only time I got close was with you, really, when we were driving to Las Vegas and almost broke down.
I almost forced Susie into a life or death situation because
I've
I was
never,
like, we can make
officially,
it.
though,
We can
been
make
there.
it. We're fine.
Yes,
Next
we
day,
were
we'll-
running on fumes.
We were running on fumes. And maybe there's something about the high temperatures that made it so the gas lasted longer, because weird
I don't
things
know.
happen at high temperatures, as we will learn. So Death Valley sits 282 feet below sea level.
Right.
And it's also lined by mountains. It borders Nevada. It's like right between California and Nevada. And it's lined by these arid, jaggedy rock mountains.
On
And-
either side, right?
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
what that does is you have this big, like, basin and these mountains on either side. It traps all this hot air, and then it circulates all that hot air. So it turns into
It's like a convection oven.
that is literally the word that they used. I have written down here. Correct, Suze.
Yeah.
It turns into a convection oven, getting up to 134 degrees, which is crazy. And in 2020, it set multiple records for heat, or like temperature. It was, they had 169 days where it was over 100 degrees.
Wow.
And 11 days over 125 degrees.
Is Death Valley considered a national park?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Death Valley is a national park, and there are a
One
lot
the
of
less appealing ones.
well, less appealing to
Visitors.
the regular human,
yeah.
but very appealing to a lot of people who are looking to do things in extremes. It's where they hold the Badwater or race. That's the 100-mile most grueling marathon. Like, could you imagine doing a marathon in a convection oven? I am ill. Just
like people will do anything to not go to therapy. You know what I mean? Like,
so
I'm telling you, there is a solution.
That's so true. And so the rising temperatures pose a lot of problems besides just the obvious ones. And one that is happening more and more frequently is people are out there hiking, even the most prepared. Like, the story I read was about this hiker named Steve Curry, and he has been hiking in Death Valley and all these other extreme places for years. In fact, he was interviewed by the New York Times in, I think it was 2015 or something like that, on the rising temperatures and hiking in those rising temperatures. And so he's very familiar and knows what he's doing out there. He's not a dummy. So he's out there hiking last June, and temperatures reached up to about 122 degrees, and he collapsed. He had a cardiac event. He had heat stroke. And in those moments, you have to get to them as fast as possible. So they tried to send a helicopter, and because the temperature was so high, helicopters cannot take off above 120 degrees because the air becomes too thin.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was a thing. I knew you couldn't take off in certain like high altitudes because the air is thin, but I did not know that the air becomes thin when it's hotter, which
Yeah.
then makes sense that it becomes so hard to breathe. I always thought it was hard to breathe in the heat
Oh.
because of like, I don't know, the temperature, the humidity, because in Thailand or something like that, there's like a different,
Yeah.
or in a sauna, it feels hard to breathe. But the air actually becomes too thin. And this is posing a really big problem because there are a lot of national parks now, Joshua Tree, everywhere in like anywhere with a desert, that you can't send people to rescue, where these are places that people go to hike, they go to do outdoor things, even the most prepared. And I don't know, it just it feels like we are at this turning point where we need new jobs and new technologies. There's actually so much opportunity for growth and for new companies and new emerging businesses and technologies to solve these problems. Like,
Yeah.
because then I was like, 'cause I read this article, a couple articles on this, the New York Times one, and I think it was in the Atlantic, the one on the new danger of the national parks. And neither of them gave any solutions of like, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
The solutions are like,
Yeah.
even the rangers are struggling because the rangers will not send out people to do search and rescue in these high temperatures too, because to do a search and rescue when you don't know the location, this precise location of the person in those extreme temperatures, like we can't even send people out to do that. So I did some digging on what are we doing to come up with new solutions for this. And some of the results were heat resistant infrastructure. So we need new materials and like new technology that can fly
Yeah.
in hot
Don't you
temperatures.
feel like, I mean, sometimes I wonder about helicopters because they are so
Oh,
temperamental and so
Wonder about them?
dangerous.
I already have. I don't wonder at all. I know. Jury's out or back or whatever the expression is.
I mean, I can't believe how much they're used given how
Correct.
seemingly dangerous they are.
I have said that many times.
Yeah.
I will not get in a helicopter ever again.
Right.
I'm fine with that. I've been in one, I've been in a couple, and I will never ever ever. I could check that box.
Yeah.
I think it's an experience that I'm not like, oh, my life is going to be so much better if I'm. Nope, my life will be better with 2 feet on the fucking ground. Thank you. And I'm saying this as somebody who loves rock climbing.
Yeah.
And does things that are inherently dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
That is a kind of danger that there are too many variables and too many things that are out of my control.
Yeah. Why do that when you don't have to?
Right.
Yeah.
And when I have been so close to death with the stunt people who died on the challenge, that was no. Oh, I get scared just thinking about it.
Because, like, they have all those tours that go from Vegas to the Grand Canyon.
Oh my
and
God.
It seems like a really fun thing to do. It'd probably really beautiful, but it's just like too risky.
What if? And then you think weather does really weird, unpredictable things. Mm-hmm. What if you're flying along and all of a sudden there's some weird weather pattern switch and you get this pressure system or whatever the fuck the pilots call it, where the temperature is 121 degrees and then you just drop out of the sky?
You're
like
a goner, like that pigeon.
Nope. Maybe the pilots listening are like, that's not how it works. But
Right.
I'm not going to take those chances. Thank you very much.
I feel like every time you hear about a military death overseas, it's like they were in a helicopter, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. So yeah, that's a new problem and then some of the other solutions, wearable cooling systems like clothing that's designed to cool you off and new fabrics. Like there's just a
Right.
whole
We got a long ways to
world
go.
of possibilities of new things that can be invented. And
You know what else opens up some possibilities? BetterHelp. And they sponsor our show.
Yes, they can help you see many different possibilities and things, because I'll tell you, sometimes when I get in those places where I can isolate and I haven't talked to somebody about my problems and about, it's funny, I spend so much time talking for my job, but sometimes it's not about the things that are going on and things that are in my heart that I really need to be talking about.
Yeah.
And that depressed brain can't see any other options. So a therapist will absolutely help you to just take a step back.
Yeah.
And
Literally today I was like, there was a bunch of stuff going wrong and I was in that zone of like, everything's terrible. And I literally said to myself, I cannot zoom out. But that's what someone can help you do. They can walk you through it. Like, I know that I needed to do that, but I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do that right now. Because you're in it. You need someone who's not in it to help you through that. And everybody has their stuff. Stress, grief, relationships. Life's complicated. And BetterHelp can help. Shout out to Sherry.
shout out to Sherry.
We love BetterHelp therapist Sherry. Last name unknown. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/BrainCandy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BrainCandy. Now, that's the kind of self-care I'm into.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things that they're doing in the future, but it feels like future-y things that is not helping people right now. And the only thing that they did mention in the article was that they're placing rangers at the heads of trails and places where people, like to hike, to make sure that they're prepped and prepared. Which, do you remember when we were talking about his name? They call him, that hiking documentary, they call him Mostly Harmless. And they had those trail angels, and we kind of like rolled our eyes of like, who needs those guys? Blah, 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 blah. Well, shout out to the trail angels.
It's
and
not
those
that
people.
I don't think they're useful. It's
Right.
just that I can't imagine, like, thinking I'm going to do this.
I couldn't either at that time. But recently I went to an REI class that they had on how to prepare for hiking 14ers, so mountains and elevated
Was that
peaks.
free, by the way?
It was free
That's
to REI
great.
members. Yeah, it's
That's
great.
wonderful. What a
It's
great
the best.
service.
They have so many. They've and I'm going to do the first aid ones. They've got, and then they have ones that where they will take you out, and it's very reasonable. It'll be like $50 or something for like a full day of like, and they provide all the gear. And so you can go like learn how to climb if you want to do that. And they have ones that are like just for women, like women's groups do it. It's really great.
Yeah, that is.
REI membership and AAA memberships are the two memberships that I have where I actually feel like.
What do you get at AAA?
Well, it just
Like
feels
notary
like,
services and stuff?
No, but can you use it for that?
Yeah.
Get out of town. The deals just keep on rolling in.
What do you use it for?
Does AAA want to sponsor a show?
For real.
No, actually, they don't do any of that, which is why they have the money to then like take care of you. But it feels like if anything happens with your car, if anything, like I've had
Tows or
situations
whatever.
where using AAA one time pays for itself, and then you get like the deals. I just am a big fan.
Yeah.
I love saving money, and
You should join AARP. Remember I told you
I'm
that?
going to.
There's tons of deals, and you don't have to
And
be
now
old.
that I'm a menopausal woman, I might
qualify.
as well. It is funny that the algorithms now know exactly what. Well, because I'm not shopping for period products anymore, and so now the algorithms are giving me ads for menopause everything, and I'm just watching old women all the time in all the commercials, and
You're like,
it's
these
very
are my
funny.
people.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm like, I'll be the youngest in this group. That's great for me.
I derailed you, though. You were saying, like,
Yeah, I literally, in my notes, I wrote down AARP. Like,
yeah, you should. Good.
now I'm
I
derailed.
have the app on my phone.
What kind of deals can I get with that? What's
Travel, rental, like cars,
Really?
rental cars or restaurants. And
oh my gosh.
yeah, you would love it.
I do love all things like that. Oh, I was talking about the REI classes
Yeah.
and those kind of things and what I went. So when I went to the class, I was like, what are they going to tell me here? Like, I had mixed feelings. First, I went in thinking I'm going to learn so much, and then the class started, and they were like, here's what to pack in your bag. And I was like, I know this. This is, they're like, bring water. I'm like, okay, I'm going to need a little bit more than just that. It's like, but so one of the thing that I did take away from that was how dangerous lightning is.
What? We use that as a metaphor for something that's rare.
Well, it's
like,
rare.
That's like getting struck by lightning.
But not if you're putting yourself in lightning strike zone. You know, and so when you're hiking these 14 years, you're above tree line. I think tree line stops like 12,000 feet. So there are no trees. You're in the open. It's all just like rocks. And
what the heck are you supposed to do?
You only climb. You leave really early in the morning, and you need to be up and back before 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock at the latest, because in the afternoon is when all the thunderstorms roll in, and you don't want to be up there during a thunderstorm. And they just taught you like how to listen and how to look for those kind of clouds and how to just get down. And oftentimes the clouds will be like on the other side of a mountain that you can't see. And so what to listen for, and like just the sounds where you got to move if you hear thunder.
I mean, for real, did you know you could just stay home?
Yeah, that is also an option.
I'm telling you.
But then you don't get to go to the very top of a mountain with a sign that says the name of the mountain and the elevation and hold it up like all cute and do that, which
that's true.
Means nothing to anybody but me. And
well, it's an accomplishment. I get it.
Yeah, it is funny when I was on the challenge, and I did climb the highest peak I ever climbed when I was on the challenge, but they're always like, this elevation, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it is right over there. Like, you kind of like get a little.
You're unimpressed.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, we climb that all the time. It's like regular. But if I were coming from Death Valley at 282 below sea level, maybe I'd be a little freaked out by that. But yeah. So now I do understand with those trail guides and the people that are there how necessary and important they are. And I looked up also because I was thinking that too, how dangerous is lightning really? On average, there are 2 deaths a year, but 12 fatalities, 12 injuries. So people getting struck and surviving or whatever, which seems like,
it'd be a real bad day.
Yeah. My brother said that he had a call where somebody got struck by lightning or something like that happened, and they were not going to make it, and you're just sitting there with them, and
well, that is terrible.
Yeah. Well,
Sarah, you're bringing me down.
Sorry, but why heat-related deaths are important because there are in Colorado an average of 13 heat-related deaths a year, so the heat is even more extreme. And some of the things that you need to look out for if you are somebody who's crazy like me and being outside, the number one is if you stop sweating. Like that could be a really hard thing to notice, and it's hard to regulate. It's kind of like getting dehydrated when you're swimming, how you don't really notice that you're thirsty when you're in a body of water. And it's really hard to notice that you are getting overheated if you're in a place where the sweat is evaporating too quickly and your body isn't able to cool itself. So that's a really big one, is just maintaining your own bodily functions like sweating, things like that, and especially when you're in full exposure. So stay safe out there.
Can you believe there's people that live in Death Valley and there's a hotel and
this guy, I know that I've been to that hotel when I was about 14 years old, maybe 13 years old. Might have been younger, who knows. But one of the most fun things I ever did and things that sticks out in my head as like favorite memories. My mom, when she was a wardrobe stylist, was shooting on location in Death Valley doing a Jeep commercial in the sand dunes, and we like got to ride in these Jeeps, and she took me along with her as her like little assistant. And it was, we're like so hot you had to sleep during the day, and then they would do the shoot like really, we would get out there
Right
really
before
early to like set up a whole crew in the middle of the sand dunes and everything. Like so hot. But just like the excitement of being on set and waking up really early and everybody piling into these like Land Rover things to go out into the desert was so much fun. And I remember the big, huge thermometer that they had there and it getting up to like 120 something. And it was so cool to see that commercial and be on set and feel like, oh my God, I'm like in the film
Whenever
industry.
you tell these stories, I'm always reminded of the time that you tried to pretend like you were poor. Like, because you had like one lean Christmas.
Yeah, it was feast or famine. I mean, I will say the writer's strike that did
that really
bankrupt
had an
my
impact
mother
on you.
but
it did bankrupt my mother.
Yeah, I mean, it did.
I don't doubt that.
We did lose the family home, but you know,
I hear these stories and I'm like, remember that time she said she was poor?
Yeah. No, it wasn't during childhood that it was like that. It was like later that the struggle.
Because that sounds so fun.
It was as fun as you could. It was so much fucking fun. And it was like this futuristic Mad Max style like wardrobe that she was doing with these like cool like futuristic-y goggles and fun stuff. And she got to make everybody dirty. And so I got to be part of making people look like they've been living in the desert for years. And that like getting people dirty is a really fun job.
I bet. It sounds fun.
Yeah. So that was really a really great trip. And I stayed in that random hotel that's in Death Valley. And so a lot of people do come for things like just to take the picture with the thermometer. And, you know, those things are a draw, especially in social media. Like I want to take a picture with the tallest or highest or blah, blah, blah. And so people, and Instagram, you can always tell on the trail who's an Instagram hiker and who's a real hiker based on the gear that they have. Absolutely. Instagram hikers are going to be wearing the short shorts with and the tank top or sports bra. And the people who are the real hikers are covered from head to toe. They have the scarves around their neck. They're wearing long sleeves. They're in the, SPF hoodies and all that because you won't last out there.
Yeah, Adam worked in Death Valley and he was covered every inch of his skin and his face. He would wear those, those like
balaclavas.
Middle Eastern. Yeah. And it's like that pattern that you see often in like Saudi Arabia or whatever. Yeah. And that you cannot expose your skin to the sun. Yeah.
Cannot. Right.
It's important to stay hydrated, but for all of us, it's important as well to make sure you're getting all your nutrients. Ritual is our go-to. We love it.
Absolutely. I've been consistent with that for so long.
I know. We were just saying that like 10 years almost. We've been on the horse and
And you know what? Sometimes when you feel like, oh gosh, life is a mess, blah, 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 you do have to zoom out and realize how much of a mess is it really when I'm taking my vitamins every day?
Yeah, I'm under control.
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. And now they have the Hyacera, which is for skin. And as you know, I'm on my skincare journey.
Yes.
Like the girlies on Instagram say, because I'm trying to look youthful and vibrant without any surgical intervention. So in order to do that, you have to take care of yourself. Ritual is the way to do it. I do the multivitamin. I do the Hyacera. They have the protein powder, which is delicious and so great. I love their products. They have I checked after I read in the Pump Club that you want an independent review, make sure that they're legit. I checked. Ritual is among them. So they are rigorously tested and validated. Start Hyacera to help minimize wrinkles without compromising on clean science. Hyacera from Ritual is clinically proven skin supplement you can actually trust. Get 25% off your first month for a limited time at ritual.com/braincandy. Start Ritual or add Hyacera to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/braincandy for 25% off.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Some other fun things to talk about. Did you see that the second song to ever be sent out to outer space has been transmitted to outer space?
No. What was the first one?
The first one. Can you guess? Ooh, fun game. Guess what the first song that ever, I'll give you a hint. Very popular band, like universally,
The Beatles.
Obviously. Good job,
Was it
Suze.
like Here Comes the Sun or something?
And Here Comes the Sun is an excellent guess, but think space themed, but not.
Oh, Lucy in the Sky?
Oh, another good guess. They had
Oh.
many options. No, Across the Universe,
Oh, that's a good one too.
right?
Yeah. That's
So
fun. That was number one.
That was the first one. And the second one is Missy Elliott, I Can't Stand the Rain.
What?
I know. I was
Was
shocked
this
as well.
pulled at random?
Well, no, it was part of the new NASA marketing team. There's a woman named Brittany Brown on the team, and she pitched the idea, and she had like reasons about like the crossover and the connection between like Missy Elliott's music, expand it, like being kind of having like a futuristic theme to it and vibe to it, and
That's a stretch.
yeah, I'm fine with it.
I like Missy.
Right.
You like it, but
I was surprised. I didn't think that
yeah,
it was
you
going to be
wouldn't
the song,
pick
but
it.
I was like, oh, this is what happens when Gen Z is getting jobs in the marketing
They love
department
her?
of these. I think that, yeah, she's on tour right now. She's crushing it.
but I mean, Gen Z is going to these concerts. She's like she's an OG,
Yeah.
man.
But I think maybe that in the same way that we look at the Beatles as like archival music, that she looks at Missy Elliott. This is like, she's hip hop. Like, what is the word that I'm looking for? Like history. Like, there's another word that I'm looking for that's hip hop.
Pioneer?
Yeah, pioneer would be a good one. But yeah,
I don't like it.
okay,
But I like her.
yeah.
It's just there's so many artists you could choose
Well,
from.
okay. Also, here's another. You have to also understand some of the nuance of the. I should explain the full. So they beamed
Okay.
it up to Venus, and Venus happens to have acidic rain.
All right.
So
We're
the
getting
song is
somewhere.
I Can't Stand the Rain,
All right.
and we're bringing attention to a planet and the weather, and the kind
I mean,
of
it's a great song.
atmospheric conditions on Venus.
Wonder why we're so slow to send songs up. Why are we only on number
Yeah,
2?
that's a good point. I would just be like streaming music all the time up there.
Do they
'Cause
have
who knows?
Spotify Premium?
Who knows what they like?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
just
who are we
avoid
to
Baby
say?
Shark, and we're good.
Yeah. Wow.
What if that were it? That the aliens came down? Enough with Baby
Yeah.
Shark.
Right.
I can't anymore with the Baby Shark.
Man. I'm
Yeah.
sure Missy was thrilled though.
Yeah, she was honored. She was like, "Oh, I can't believe that I'm going to be part of this." I mean, she has a direct quote that, of course, I didn't write down. I just wrote NASA beams up Missy Elliott in my notes, which also is funny now that I realize I wrote
that is funny.
NASA beams up. But if I kind of think about all of her music videos and everything, they do have this like futuristic kind of space vibe to it. She seems like,
Yeah, that's true.
Like-
I guess I'll allow it.
yeah, I like it. You won't like this one,
Oh no.
but it's old, and we never talked about this app.
Okay.
I have no idea where I read about this, but in 2015 there was an app that came out that was called the Invisible Girlfriend app.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever hear about this?
No.
Okay, so it was an app that was designed by this guy named Matthew Homan, and for $30 you get 100 text messages, and the app is designed to respond to you in real time like a girlfriend.
Okay. For what purpose?
So initially I was like, this is for like loser guys who are like, I need to prove that I have a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and just to like show my other dude friends and blah blah blah. But after reading some, I zoomed out, kind of took a step back, and in the article I read, he said that our audience, and of course this is the creator, so he's going to defend it like this and always like highlight some of the good things, but I think he does have a point. He said that our audience might come from a variety of situations. Maybe they're in a same-sex relationship and they're hiding from disapproving relatives, or trying to avoid unwanted advances from a coworker, or have chosen to focus on work instead of romance.
Okay.
I do understand in the situation where you're maybe in a same-sex relationship, and I don't think who that's actually marketed to and who is using this, however. But I do like it for that, and I do see the good in it for that. I should also mention that I tried to look for the website for this, and it doesn't exist anymore, so I don't even think the app is still in existence. And he did launch another one that was the obvious sister app to this, which was the Invisible Boyfriend for women. But what are your thoughts?
I'm sure that there was like 2 people that signed up. If the app doesn't exist anymore,
right?
I'm sure there's not a lot of satisfied customers that are like, yeah, this helped me stay in the closet. Thanks,
right? Because it's not something where it would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like the whole hope is that you don't have to use something like that you can just be.
The way that it theoretically operated, though, was that how would they come to you? You just like say, yeah, I'm ready, and then it would start texting you?
Yeah, like you would probably turn it on, and then it would send you texts that were like girlfriend style, like thinking of you.
And they just come at random throughout the day? Or
yeah.
Do you think you could schedule them?
Probably. I would hate that.
That's like a premium feature.
That feels like I pay like not to have text messages with the people that I'm dating.
Yeah, and you like, this nag again.
I'm like, oh, why do we have
so needy?
Yeah. Maybe they're doing that to just be able to kind of like pose as that. But it just feels like, I don't know, what kind of
Just get a fucking like flip phone or something that doesn't have text messaging, and just be like, oh yeah, I have a girlfriend, but she can't text me. Why are you doing this whole charade? It's a tangled web.
It is. That feels like a charade as well. And I feel like we just have to, if you're in a friend group that's giving you that much shit about not having a partner, you need to look at your friend group.
Honest
maybe
to
get
God.
a new friend group.
I've never thought to myself, she says she has a boyfriend, but he hasn't texted her once during this meal.
We're also not, children. So maybe this is like obviously not. This seems like
I think their primary demo is like unstable people.
Yeah, or like not middle-aged. Well, maybe middle school boys.
Yeah,
like, I swear I have a girlfriend.
She lives in Canada.
Yeah, right. I swear we met at summer camp.
She goes to a different
She said she would
school.
wait for me.
Did you have camp boyfriends?
Absolutely, I did. It was the only place I had boyfriends, Susie, and I crushed it at camp. In fact, my first kiss that I willingly participated in was with the camp director's son. Whoa. And we were a hot pair.
For real, hot and heavy?
Well, not like that. We were like 10 or a little older than that.
So
we were like cute little ones. And it was like the thing where like I had a crush on him and he had a crush on me, and our counselors like at camp, they're like, we have like dances and like evening events and things like that where like one cabin can ask another cabin to like go to them.
Even at 10, even at that age?
They're so cute and little. They get real excited about it. And what's cute is sometimes the older girls ask the youngest boy cabin. And so it'll be like the teenage girls taking the youngest boys, and they get so excited. And the older boys will like take the little younger girls and they like bring them little flowers. And it's like the cutest thing in the whole world. And I remember being a little kid who was like, oh, you just like have little camp crushes, and you're like, what cabin is going to ask us? And you get all nervous, and then we all like answer back, but the counselors have already been talking about this, and you're not going to say no. And, so the counselors like know who has the little crushes on who, and they like set it up. So all of our counselors were like, okay, now you guys are going to go to the dance together. And I felt like so excited that he was like holding my hand. It was so much fun. I
had no idea camp was so sexy.
Yeah.
Like, for real. I didn't know they were arranging like, dances and things.
Yeah. I don't think sexy is the word I would use.
I would say social. Ain't romantic. Social.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not.
And sometimes
platonic.
the girls' cabins ask the girls' cabins.
Whoa.
Yeah. Everything's fair.
Not at Christian camp, they don't.
Oh, yeah. Well, at this camp, we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went to like a sex positive camp.
Totally. Everybody, all the
hilarious.
counselors have like blue hair and are
Right, I
like
know
they,
the
thems.
type.
Yeah.
See, if you tell people this in like the conservative community, they'll think that's why you turned out like this with all your tattoos and your bisexuality.
Yeah, but I am tattooed with bisexuality and a job. So they
Yeah.
helped, and like healthy relationships and good friendships. So I could have
Camp
had all of that
romance.
and none of the other.
I'm glad you crushed it though. That must have been real good for your
Oh,
sense
it
of
was
self-esteem.
so good. I will actually, high school 13-year-old me could have used this app. It's like, I swear.
Right.
Like show
Yeah,
pictures.
yours was real though.
Yeah, I can remember all of them. I can remember all those butterfly feelings. Like, it just, and because at camp, it was a place where I got to be cool. Like, I was outgoing and I liked to do things like trust falls and skits and shit. And like, I remember the kid that I made out with, we were like little, but we ended up having like, he did what all little boys do, and he was like relentlessly teased me, and we, he's like a little boy, and not really, he was actually pretty nice, but it was like playful poking, and we had a competition going about who was the better climber on the rock wall. And so we had a race blindfolded, and guess who won?
Yeah, you wouldn't tell the story if you had
Obviously, I kicked your butt, Derek.
Suck it, Derek.
Yeah, he's really nice and wonderful and a great man.
A
Great
great
father.
man.
He really is. He grew up to be a wonderful human being and a great guy. And
Wow.
yeah, so
I
yeah,
had no idea you were such a player.
it was because at camp I was like on stage, like doing my thing, and that's why I thrived on the real world. That was kind of like summer camp. I just do well in a camp-like environment.
Yeah, it really caters to your skill set.
I just want the opportunity to say, if you can hear the sound of my voice, clap once. If you can hear the
What's
sound of
that
my voice,
mean?
clap twice. When you're trying to get a group's attention, like the little kids, it works every time. If you're in a group and nobody's paying attention, and you just say, if you can hear the sound of my voice, clap once, and you clap, they'll stop and listen. And then if you say, if you can hear the sound of my voice, clap twice, it works. I did this on the challenge all the time, and everybody will stop and listen.
Wow.
And then if you can hear the
You
sound
were
of my
training
voice,
your whole life. for
say,
that.
I can hear you. And they'll go, I can hear you. And then there you go. You have the room's attention.
Wow. Good tip.
I also say the same thing that works with 7-year-olds works with reality stars.
Yeah, it's about right.
So that tells you everything you need to know. Yeah. Okay, what else do I have for you today? This was kind of just, well, this is not, this is something we are all aware of, but kind of like, ugh, sad. This woman wrote an article for The Cut about how she changed her race on Hinge, and all of a sudden all her matches changed. And she
What's
was
her
getting
real
matches.
race?
I think she's black.
And she changed it to white?
White. Basically, I changed my race to white, and I got matches.
Because why?
This is the question.
Do you mean like the algorithm changed, or people were saying, yeah, I'll date you because you're...
Well, what she was getting matches.
I'm
and
just
she
wondering
wasn't
if
getting
it's
matches before.
machines
I think
doing
it's
it
machine.
or people.
Well, that's the
Oh.
question. It's like, but and we don't really have an answer. And that's what the article was talking about, is like, it's one of two things and both of them are gross. It's either the
Right.
algorithm that is prioritizing white women,
Yeah.
or it's men on the apps who are only liking white women. And either way, that's gross.
Is she
And
white passing at all? Like, or her picture? Do you think her
it
picture?
didn't show any photos of her.
Okay.
And
I'm
it
wondering,
didn't
like,
have,
how-
I imagine there was some intention behind not mentioning those things or showing pictures.
That's incomplete though, because I'm wondering, like, we would know the answer, because if it were that she isn't white passing, then you would know that it's a machine probably, because even if it said white, but you looked at them and knew that they weren't,
Right.
someone wouldn't be like, oh, well, it says she's white. So,
But maybe it's just that women who are not white are not getting their profile highlighted.
Put in front of them.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe they're downgraded.
And it may be something like the men who are using the app are checking a box of what
right.
ethnicity they're interested in.
Yeah.
And because the white box maybe gets checked more frequently, that one gets prioritized. So it's like a combination of
Did they say which app it was? Did you say Hinge?
Hinge. Yeah.
How does Hinge work?
I don't know. I think it's the one where
You're funny.
No, Bumble is the one. Where's the one where the girls have to talk first?
Yeah, I think that's Bumble, right?
I think that's Bumble.
I think they stopped with that, but I think that was what it was.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't been on the apps
They
in a
each
minute.
have their own like little hook, but
Yeah, their thing.
Well, so what did she have to say about that? Was it just like, this is what happened and I'm mad about it? Or did
And she
say,
had a
like,
friend who also tried the same thing and got the same result. And so it's really sad. It's more of a reason why we should get off online dating and why we need other options. You know, it just feels so like conflicting because we have shows like Love is Blind where we're like, it doesn't matter, and they're really trying to sell us on that. And then we're fighting against algorithms that are maybe not so subtly sending a totally different message, especially to women of color. And
yeah.
I think about like the people who maybe like met their partner who is a different race, a different ethnicity, in a way that wasn't through an app. Like if they would have met them on the app, and that's like
probably
sad to think that it's limiting, and it's really not connecting people on the true things.
Did you meet any nice people in that REI class?
I tried. I was like looking around, and no, there was nobody.
Even just friends, like
nobody. And nobody
up
was
your
even
alley?
really being social, and like it
That's
was
so
like,
crazy because you think that's
I
part
know,
of
that's
the allure.
what I went for. So what I think is I need to go to one of those classes that's more hands-on and more like this was like very. We're sitting in seats listening to somebody do a
Classroom.
presentation,
Yeah.
which, by the way, if they need somebody, a new person to present, I am available. I'm actually not, but they should consider somebody new
I'm
because
actually
he
not.
was boring.
Oh, no.
He just could have done a better. He wasn't a
little
public
too
speaker.
dry.
He was
Yeah.
dry as a frickin'
That's
Trisket.
Death Valley.
Yeah.
Trisket.
I know. I'm trying to think of the
Right.
driest cracker.
They
Yeah.
should try to make it more social because I bet you a lot of people sign up in
That is
part
that is exactly why I
for
signed
that
up.
reason. Because you can go on YouTube if you just want info.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
there was one guy who, like, they were given away. They did a real drawing for an outdoor toilet setup, like a portable, like with like.
You gotta be kidding me.
I was so excited about it.
And you didn't win?
Nah, I didn't. And the guy behind me said, if I won, I was going to give it to you. Because he could tell I was excited.
I am so mad that didn't happen because that is the ultimate origin story of a
I
relationship.
mean,
He won
right?
a toilet and
Gave
gave it to
me
me.
his, right. Oh,
And
that
that's
could've
when
been.
we knew.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's nice that he even said that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But like nobody was funny or anything.
I was,
Yeah, I mean, that's implied.
obviously.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, there were some very easy, low-hanging fruit jokes that I was just like, nobody else can take this.
It
Okay,
writes
I got
itself.
this. I know. I was like, I'm not even trying here.
I wish I had a video.
And
of
then
this.
I was like, you have to stop, Sarah.
Oh no. Were people laughing though?
Yes, they were. They were. But I just, yeah.
And nobody said, "Are you Sarah from the real world?" in that class.
No, nobody says that anymore.
So really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I feel like this happened. No, I guess it didn't happen in
No,
Detroit.
it doesn't happen that.
What is that about?
I don't know. It's changed.
I
It's
really do
something-
feel like people don't recognize you without that beanie. The Rivals 3
God.
scene.
Stop it.
I
You're
swear.
hilarious. And people said, "Who's that brunette?" What? That was like the comment I was the most offended by on all the comments left. Like people were saying like, she's so annoying. And I'm like, yeah, she sure is. But then when they said, who's that brunette? I'm like, I'm a blonde. I will fucking kill you. And so will my hairdresser who I spend so much money it is blonde. It's a dirty blonde. Fuck all the way off.
Well, it's just because it's all relative, right?
I know.
I'm sitting next
right,
to you
you're sitting
with
next to
this,
me and you're like,
you know, it's embarrassing what's going on here.
No.
So it's all by comparison.
I'm next to Daenerys. What's her name? Daenerys Targaryen or whatever her name
What
is.
is it, Khaleesi or something?
Yeah,
People used
Khaleesi.
to
But
tell
that's
me
like
that.
not her. That's like one of her names. Then she has the other name. What the hell is her name? I hope I got it right.
Yeah, it's.
Daenerys Targaryen. Fucking nailed it.
I mean, compared
Love
to
that
me,
show.
you're not blonde, but
Right.
compared
I'm
to
Jet
true brunette.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good job. I mean, there was a lot of danger in this episode. I know that.
This episode comes with a warning.
Death Valley, lightning, helicopters,
Oh my God.
dating apps.
It was all danger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Stay safe out there, my friends.
See, now I know why you needed a solo dancing party.
Yeah. Gotta like
We
dance
needed
out
some
the
levity
stress.
up in this
Yeah,
biatch.
absolutely.
Well, that's all right. We're more prepared now than when we started to
That's right.
go out into the world
Yep,
and face
stay
it.
hydrated.
Thank you for your service. Thank you all for using our codes, leaving us 5-star reviews, and subscribing. We love you for it, and we so appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, friends.